Hey y'all, welcome to Art of the Budget. My name's Nicole, my pronouns are she and her, and I live in the Pacific Northwest, which is the traditional territory of the Coast Salish tribes. I am here today with my week 2 of July 2019 budget check-in. I just got back from Montana where I was doing a short artist residency slash my vacation, and I am going to log all those transactions so that I can have a really clear picture of what my budget was. I'm going to be sharing a budget and haul video with you, just like I did for my last big trip. And just got a little kitty friend here. It's going to be helping me. Yeah, so let's get into it. As you can probably see, I've got 32 transactions. That is a lot. I'm going to be straight up and tell you that most of them are gas and restaurant transactions. So let's go ahead and get most of this gas out of the way. I did do a little calculating, and I think I'm well within the gas budget that I expected for going to Montana and back in my station wagon, which is not the most fuel efficient vehicle on the planet. So yeah, let's go down the list. I've got one gas transaction for $17.51. And I said this in the last one, but I wasn't always totally sure like when I would be able to get gas again. It turned out actually a lot of places, and so there's a lot of small transactions just because of my own worries. Okay, so $17.51 for gas, $9.49 for gas, $20.72 for gas, $18.89, $11.66. Did not go in. There we go. And then I think there is one more. Oh yeah, $48.48 for gas. And that was actually not for my car. It was for my friend's vehicle. We split gas to drive down south to Red Lodge and to Yellowstone National Park. So that was very, very cool. And I'm going to try to create a vlog video. I don't really know how to do that, but I'm going to totally do it. And then, let's see, I also want to add, I did have to stop and get some oil for my car, and that was $9.04. I think that was the right thing to do. Okay, so then I'm just going to go to groceries because I've got a lot of grocery and restaurant transactions as well. Okay, so Albertsons, $33.07. I think that was my main grocery purchase. I also actually ate dinner at Albertsons, like went to Albertsons and got some like deli food for dinner a couple of times while on the road. So $11.63 for Albertsons. Beartooth Cafe, $13.54. That goes into restaurants. Cafe Rio lunch for $13.14. There's like a few like not the greatest food in the world, but also not the cheapest food in the world transactions. What are you going to do? Drum Coffee, $6.75. That would be one of them. What's this one? Oh, High Country Motel. This was actually for a cup of coffee. It was a very awkward experience. So I didn't have cash. Neither of us had cash. And anyway, it got awkward. Okay. Park Creek Bakery, $9.50. Park Creek Bakery, $6.50. Not gonna lie, that was straight up for homemade cake donuts that were so good. I got some like while I was in town, and then I got some for the road, well, to share with friends, but then also mostly for the road. Well worth it. Red Lodge Pizza was actually, yeah, it was like a pizza and also just regular restaurant. It was an interesting place. $21.51. $6.18. That was for lunch, and that was $12 even. Sam's Tap Room, that was $17.03. Sylvia's Sweets was $15.40. That was for fudge. And I actually have like fudge coming out of my ears right now. I have bought a lot of it. But best moment of my trip, that's not true, but one of them was I asked about one of the fudge flavors, and I was like, oh, it was, and it was s'mores, or no, it was Rocky Road. But I was like, oh, I wasn't sure if those were marshmallows because of the texture on top of the fudge, or hazelnuts. And Sylvia, who was in the midst of making fudge, said, hazelnuts. That's kind of a good idea. So If you go to Red Lodge and then Sylvia's making hazelnut fudge, you can thank me. Anyway, that was a very special moment. All right. So $9.99 for Albertson's dinner, this transaction right here. I'm over in a restaurant, so I'm going to put that in groceries. It's questionable. Okay. Wild Table $9.84 was definitely restaurants. And yeah. Okie doke. So now I'm going to go down to cat sitter. That was $125. And that's actually cat sitting, plant sitting, sourdough starter sitting, house plant or garden sitting. So she really earned her $125. Very thankful. I have a good friend who watches my cats. My cats like her and trust her. And also she takes really good care of my plants in my garden and my sourdough starter, Harry. So very, very thankful. Okay, so what's left here? Oh, Rising Trout, $17.40. That is restaurants. Really doing good here. I actually did this thing last night. It was kind of neurotic, but I went through and I calculated. I usually keep track of when I go on a trip, like to a conference or to something, I kind of keep track of like hotel, flight, transportation, and food. And I was realizing, so I basically put that all into a Google Doc, which maybe I'll share with you guys sometime. Let me know if you're interested. And I did notice that I like almost always spend over $200 in food. And usually, you know, I'm prioritizing having like yummy food that I don't necessarily have access to. That was maybe not the case so much on this trip. It was more just like feeding myself. But yeah, I think I need to just probably take that into consideration and budget a little more for food when I know I'm going to be traveling for a week or two. Okay, so let's get into finishing this list of transactions up because there are so many of them. So I did do some sharing income for $60. Basically, I know an artist who's doing a pretty cool event and I wanted to help support it. And so I did by sharing that income for some of their expenses. I actually had to go down to sinking funds. So into travel, I'm going to put the fee to go into Yellowstone. I split it with my friend, so my half was $17.50. Well worth it. So well worth it. Thunderbird Motel, $92.95. I did stay one night at a hotel. I didn't really need to, but I just it was kind of on my way back, and I was just, you know, not wanting to like socialize with somebody I didn't know very well. So I did have sort of friends I could have stayed with, but more acquaintances, and I just needed like a night to myself. So I chose to stay at a hotel one night, and it was called the Thunderbird Motel, and it was really cute. Okay, so I did need to have spark plugs replaced in my car, which cost $188.83. That was before I headed home. And for right now, I'm going to set that in car upkeep. I might move that, but I like to set it in car upkeep because it just keeps it clean for me. Like I know where to look for it later, but we'll see. Okay. And I want to see how much is remaining. Okay, so I've got 82. All right, so I've got some souvenirs. I always buy a magnet when I travel. Sometimes I buy a couple. So I did buy a Yellowstone magnet and a Lewistown magnet. So, So that was Elk Ink Souvenirs, 8 to 22. That was 2 magnets for Yellowstone. I got one for my friend that I was traveling with. And then I got another magnet, a little ceramic magnet from the Marigold Market in Lewistown. I bought a few souvenirs, one gift for my cat sitter, and then some just like special, basically a choke cherry, which is a fruit that Lewistown is famous for. I bought a few different like jams that were, you know, that place specific food. I bought a few items as souvenirs for myself, and that was $33.75. There's a few other things wrapped up in there, like I bought a pair of earrings. Oh, that doesn't go there. For my sister, and that gift for my house sitter, but in any case. So is that back in there? Let's see. Yes, Lewistown Art Center. So that's going to go into travel. Okay. Now I have these two last transactions, and then we can get out of there. So if I go to art, I only have $10 left. So I bought a beautiful coopered bucket that is chip carved, and I will share that with in my haul. And it was $150. When you see it, you'll see why. It's just stunning. But I guess that most of these two transactions, so I also stopped at this place called the Plant Farm in Spokane, Washington, and spent $50 on plants, which I will show you in my trip haul. And so I guess these are mostly going to have to come out of my me fund, right? That would be the responsible thing to do. What would you do? Tell me down below, what would you do? Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm putting them in there. I'm using my me fund. I would not say it was well thought out, but it kind of was. I've wanted one of these stuck-in chip carved buckets for a long time. All right, I'm doing it. So chip carved bucket 150 goes into the me fund. And Plant Farm, my amazing haul of plants for $50.03, also goes into the me fund. Okay, that's everything for this week for my travels. I'm going to add it up, and I will be coming at you with a budget video and a haul video. They'll be together in the same video, just like my Ensika video. Thank you so much for joining me for week 2 of July 2018. I hope your month is going well. I'm hoping to keep it kind of chill the rest of the month since I'll just be home, and hopefully manage to come out ahead. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.